Hi there, Michael. I'm back with my second vinyl video. I'll try to get these out more regularly. I guess that'll be my New Year's resolution for 2026. But I thought I'd do a video about my best pickups from 2025. It's always interesting when a new year starts. You kind of never know what you're going to end up with as far as collecting, what you're going to be able to knock off your want list, what kind of stuff you'll find when you walk into a record store or are checking out eBay or Discogs, and then kind of what new music you'll discover. So here's a few of my favorites, and yeah, it was a pretty good year. So start off with two records from Pete Townshend mainly, and these are ones he did for his guru Meher Baba. And a lot of these tracks ended up on his first solo album. And the first one is I Am, which is pretty cool. And I picked these up. They were like on eBay for like 10 bucks, 20 bucks. So this is an original one. It's in a cardboard mailer sleeve. And inside there's a very, at this point, fragile newsprint booklet and also a record. Featuring some great tracks from Pete Townshend and also some other Meher Baba followers like Ronnie Lane and Billy Nichols. So there's this one, and then this is the next one. They're out of order. This was the first one called Happy Birthday, and in addition to the record, you get some inserts and a pretty cool booklet with lots of pages. So yeah, the music's actually pretty great, and it was cool to find these. They've been collectible for a while, so was kind of glad to pick those up. And then the next one, this was another eBay one to complete my collection of Super Furry Animals albums on vinyl. This is their debut album, A Fuzzy Logic, and this is an original on Creation Records. I had the reissue, but I always wanted an original. And this was another one that was like a $10 pickup on eBay. Surprised nobody else bid on it, but it's great to have it. It's great shape. And this is a great album. I originally found this for $1 on CD back in the day in a discount bin, and just fell in love with the band and been a fan ever since. Next one, another eBay pickup, which was pretty cool. One of my favorite bands from the 80s, which is Ice House from Australia. And these showed up as part of a lot, and pretty cool because it's a triple live set in concert. And, this was only printed in Australia, and it's pretty hard to find in the US. So to get this and another record that I'll show you for a very cheap price is pretty awesome. I got these from the state next door in New Hampshire, and, kind of glad there was an Ice House fan there. And it's a really good set. I enjoyed spinning that. And then here's their classic album, Man of Colors. I already had a copy of this, but like I said, I was included in a lot. And this one is on blue vinyl. So it's very cool. And it sounds great. And this is just a wonderful album, 80s album. Here's a local pickup. This is a limited John Martyn LP, Live at the Hanging Lamp. It's kind of historical recordings. You hear them early on live. I think this is from like 1972. And the recording is a little rough, but it's cool to have this on vinyl. And this is something I wanted for a long time and thought about ordering from the UK when it first came out, but shipping was pretty expensive, so I passed on it. And to stumble across it in a local record store and get a good deal on it, I was very happy to get this. Big John Martyn fan. Here's something. This came from an internet purchase, and was interesting because this is one I did not order. This is Gene Clark's Two Sides to Every Story album, his album on RSO. This was the follow-up to No Other. And this was something on my want list, and this came as packing material in another, as a stiffener in another album I ordered. So it was kind of cool to get this basically for free. It's a nice copy, has the inner sleeve. So actually it's a UK import. So pretty interesting, pretty great to have. Here is another pickup from a local record store. If you're an English folk fan, you'll know who this guy is. Nick Jones and his album Noah's Ark Trap from 1977. And this is just classic English folk, really special artist. He had kind of he's playing old English music that he arranged, but it has kind of a contemporary vibe to it. His guitar playing and his singing, it's just so wonderful. So this is a hard record to find. It's not been on CD, so it's great to find this. And this is a Canadian copy on the Shanachie label, and it was great to come across this for $3, probably less than $3. So really nice to have. Here's another, I'd say this is my one good thrift store pickup of the year. This is Propaganda and their album Secret Wish, a great electronic 80s album. And it was really cool to find this for, $2. I'd never heard of it, but was like, I got to grab this. And it's a really great album. So I've been enjoying giving this one a spin. Here's another eBay purchase, which this was one of those things I picked up without hesitation. Island Records. This is Dr. Strangely Strange with their first album, Kip of the Serenes. This is great. British folk. I think they're from Northern Ireland. And kind of like the Incredible String Band, very influenced by it. But a really cool record, and one that I picked up at a great price. So it was really cool to snag this on eBay. A little wear to the covers. There's some punch hole here. There's a sticker, but it's that original Pink Island label, and it's in great shape. So nice one to add to my collection. Here's another one that was I could scratch off my want list, and this is ABC's Lexicon of Love 2, which is a really enjoyable album. This is from 2016. Vinyl pressing has gotten really hard to find. I loved ABC back in the 80s and checked out this one, and was a little skeptical, because when you have a sequel to a classic album, which was the original Lexicon of Love, is it going to shape up? And this is actually really good. There's some of those tracks that as good as everything they ever did. So been looking for this for a while, and great to find a copy stateside. And then finally, a couple from T-Rex, which was great to add to my Mark Bolan T-Rex collection. The first one is T-Rex Electric Warrior, this classic album. And about this one is the original German press on Areola Records, and it's got the gatefold with the George Underwood drawings, which is really cool. And it also has the poster, which I was so happy to get, because it's very hard to find a poster. This one doesn't have any punch holes, and so yeah, Mark Bolan and T-Rex in all their glory. So the record's not, it's a little, I'd say it's a VG, but to find it with a poster in the US, it's pretty awesome. So happy to have that one. And like I said, there's another Mark Bolan T-Rex, actually Tyrannosaurus Rex pickup right here. This is their second album. It is Prophets, Seers and Sages, The Angels of the Ages. So this is a UK original on the Regal Zonophone label. It's mono. I didn't have a mono copy, with a nice, fragile textured flip back sleeve. It didn't have the lyric insert, but the record was in pretty playable condition. Here it is on the red Regal Zonophone label. And the great thing about this is it was $5. And it was one of those things, it's like, I'm going to take a chance. I don't care what condition it's in, even if it's totally wrecked, for $5, mono record from the 60s. And, I'm going to give it a spin pretty regularly. It sounds great. So those are some of the highlights of my pickups from 2025. Hope to be back pretty soon with more videos. And thank you for tuning in. And hope you guys have a happy new year and a great 2026. Thanks.